Chairman, I have read the classified legal opinion, and I have to say it's a lot of legal gobbledygook, which I do not think makes the case. But Mr. Weiland, have you read this report? It's entitled, "You've Arrived in Hell, Torture and Other Abuses Against Venezuelans in El Salvador's Mega Prison." Have you had a chance to read that?
I don't believe so, Senator.
Okay. This just came out last month. It's a report by Human Rights Watch and Cristosal, and it documents torture and abuse of the Venezuelans who we sent to CECOT. It talks about sexual violence, torture, and inhumane prison conditions. Now, I listened to your conversation with Senator Shaheen, and you were part of the State Department team that entered into the agreement with the government of El Salvador to take and imprison these Venezuelans, correct?
I was not involved in any deportation decisions.
The agreement that was signed, were you part of that?
I was involved in a decision to send $4.7 million to El Salvador to address anti-crime and criminal justice needs.
Did you sign the agreement?
I did.
So you signed the agreement. Well, I've got the agreement right here, and it does say that these funds are to be used to help cover the costs of detention in prisons, does it not?
It allows that. It is not exclusive to those.
Well, it anticipates. Are you saying no monies have been used for that purpose? None of the $4.7 million?
To my knowledge, no money has gone to CECOT. There's no indication that.
Have you tracked it? Have you looked at it?
I have not been in the office since June of this year. I cannot speak to what conversations have been had with the Salvadorans since that time.
But you knew there was a risk that these Venezuelans who were being transferred to these prisons in El Salvador would be abused or tortured, didn't you?
No, Senator. I'm familiar with the Salvadoran people's overwhelming support for President
No, that's not my question, sir. My question was, you knew that there was a risk. Let me just refer you to the El Salvador's 2023 State Department Human Rights Report. Have you ever looked at that?
I am familiar with the Human Rights Report, Senator, but I would just point to internal INL procedures that strictly scrutinize funding decisions. For example, any money that the Salvadorans would like to use, if it's going to a security unit of their government, a law enforcement entity, they have to notify us 30 days in advance so we can conduct lei vetting. In addition to that, they have to provide extensive financial reporting delineating exactly how they're using that $4.7 million. Right. On top of that, the agreement you just referenced has a provision that explicitly mandates adherence to international human rights treaties and conventions, including the Convention
I can read it. I've got it right here. Thank you. My question to you was, based on the State Department's own 2023 Human Rights Reports, which says that there are harsh and life-threatening prison conditions in El Salvador's prisons. You knew that there was a risk that these individuals would be tortured, did you not? Did you think there was no risk they would be tortured?
Senator, prisons throughout the Latin America region can be rough places, just like American prisons can be. In fact, after speaking with Post, I understand
Mr. Chairman, I want you to read this report that just came out.
I'd be happy.
And then get back to me and say whether these are acceptable prison conditions anywhere in the world. Can you do that?
I'd be happy to, Senator.
Because you keep referencing what the agreement says, and I've read the agreement. Wouldn't you agree that you have an obligation, the United States government has an obligation to determine whether or not these monies are going for purposes that violate international law or represent gross violations of human rights?
As I said, Senator, the agreements require strict reporting about all the uses of the funds, and I commit, if confirmed, that I will follow up with the Salvadorans to get that information.
But let me ask it this way. You can't contract out your legal responsibilities to the government of El Salvador, can you?
I'm not sure.
You can ask them to report to you, but do you not have a legal obligation under the Leahy laws to make an independent determination of your own as to whether or not these monies are being used in violation of the Leahy laws?
we do. If the money is going to law enforcement entities, we have to conduct Leahy vetting, and I commit to doing that.
All right. Well, it is, the agreement anticipates, as you said, it says it's going to go to help with the prisons. I would just say, Mr. Chairman, this is a very, very sordid chapter in American foreign policy. All of us want to make sure that we deal with drugs running and whatever it may be, but there are many independent reports, as you know, including by the Cato Institute, that determined that many of the individuals who were sent to this CECOT prison, were actually in the United States illegally. And that many, many of them had absolutely zero criminal record. And yet they end up in CECOT and get tortured, at least according to this most recent report. And it's unfortunate the United States has been complicit in what I see as a gross violation of human rights. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator.